Hello everyone, welcome to Softex Services. My name is Jeanette McIver and today we'll be working with Excel, sorting and filtering data. And the differences between working with sorting and filtering data. Sorting will allow you to rearrange your data on your worksheet, whereas working with filters will allow you to narrow your data set down, allowing you to extract out what you want to see, how you want to see it. As far as working with filters, we can filter on three categories. You can filter on a text field, a number field, and a date field. So what we're going to do, we're going to start sorting. And before we sort, let's get a little bit familiar with our data. And looking at our list of information here, we have our field names. Invoice date, client name, make, model, so on and so forth. These field names, they're unique names to help us identify what we should be typing within the column. You're going to have your row, which is your record, which is your data. Now, in sorting information, you can sort a couple of ways. First, I'm going to sort based on sell price. And in sorting on sell price, I'm going to click within that column, clicking anywhere within that column, on my Home tab, coming over to my editing group, you're going to see sort and filter. And I want to sort my sales price from largest to smallest. And guys, you'll see from here, looking at sales price is now sorted in descending order. We also have the option to go in and do multiple sorts. So I want to sort on maybe make and model and then sales price. And making that adjustment, once again, going back to my Home tab, going back to my editing group, clicking on sort and filter, and going to go into custom sort. Now for right now, we have currently sorted on sales price, which I'm going to leave that one. We can sort on multiple levels, actually up to 64 levels. In our example, we're just going to sort based on 3. In your sort window, you'll notice that it automatically selects your entire data set. Working within your sort window, you will also see that my data has headers is currently checked, and we do want that checked because we do not want our field names included in our sort. Now going in and sorting 3 levels. I said I wanted to sort it based on my make, and then my model, and then my sales price. So I'm going to add a level. My then by is going to be based on make. Sorting on the cell value, what's in the cell, but when you click on the down arrow here, you can sort on the cell value, the cell color, the font color, as well as conditional formatting. In this example, we'll be sorting on cell values. And we're going to sort this from A to Z. Clicking on the down arrow, A to Z, or Z to A, we're working from A to Z. I want to add another level, so we're going to click on our Add Level button. My second then by is going to be based on model. Based on model, cell value, sorting A to Z. Now there's only one problem here. I said that I want to sort this based on make, model, and then sales price. So my fields are not in the proper order. So what we're going to do to adjust this order, my sort by for sell price. If you notice, I have a down arrow, which will allow me to change the order, which we're making that adjustment. We're sorting on make first, then model, sales price, and sales price is based on largest to smallest. Once we click on OK, you should see based on my make, then based on my model, and then coming over, you'll see it's sorted on my sales price. So using sort is a nice way, a quick way of analyzing data. But then there are going to be times that you don't necessarily need to see all of the information in your data set. So what we want to do now is we want to go in and use our filters. And using your filters, the same rules apply. No empty columns, no empty rows, but you can have empty cells. Turning on my filters, clicking anywhere within my data, I'm going to go to my Home tab, and on my Home tab, coming over to the right side, my editing group, going right back into sort and filter, and then you're going to see where it says filter. As soon as we turn on filter, for each field name that we have, you'll have make, model, country name, and each one has a down arrow, which allows us to filter. First, I want to filter on make. I want to work with Aston Martin, Jaguar, and Bentley. For make, clicking on the down arrow, it says text filters, which is what we're working with. You're going to have your search window to break down your data, and then you're going to have a list of all of your makes. I'm going to go in and deselect all, and then just choose the makes that I want to work with. I'm clicking on Aston Martin, Bentley, Jaguar. We're going to click on our OK button. Clicking on your OK button, you will see, with make, you'll see a filter. Pointing to the filter icon, it says equal, Aston Martin, Bentley, Jaguar. You can actually tell 3 ways that you filtered. 1, pointing to the filter, telling us what we did. 2, coming over to your row numbers, if you notice your row numbers are now blue. And then 3, looking at the very bottom of your status bar, which I'm pointing to now, it'll come back and tell you how many records you filtered. We filtered 310 records of 457. Now with this, I filtered on make, but now I want to break this down based on sales price. And in working with sales price, I'm looking for any sales price that is going to be less than $100,000. So we're going to go to sales price. Clicking on the filter for sales price, notice it says number filters. It gives you your various criteria. I said I wanted to work with less than, so I'm clicking on less than. And I'm going to type in my criteria, 100,000. We're clicking on OK. And then you'll see that it filters the information down. Now, as far as looking at our records, the total records that we're seeing, looking at my status bar once again, pointing to it now, 217 records of 457. We currently filtered on a text field for make. We filtered on a number field for sales price. And now I want to incorporate a filter on my invoice date. And in working with my invoice date, what I'm looking for is for any invoice for the month of November, no matter what year. I'm looking for an invoice date for the month of November, no matter what year. So in filtering on invoice date, I'm going to click on the down arrow. You'll see it says date filters. You can also see where we have our years. I can expand 2015, and I can uncheck the months that I don't want to work with, but we're not going to use that method. Okay? What we're going to do, we're going to go into date filters, look at the various criteria that we have, after, between, before. But I'm going to come all the way down in this list, and you're going to see all dates in the period. And I said a moment ago, for invoice date, I just want to see any invoice for the month of November. So we're clicking on November, and you'll see it filters that information down. Once again, looking at our status bar, we have 26 records of 457. Now, this bit of information, I want to work only with this data. So once we filter the information, we can also copy and paste it onto a new worksheet. So I'm going to highlight my data, selecting my range. Using keyboard commands, we're going to do Control-C to copy. I'm going to come down on my little plus symbol here, pointing to it now. I'm going to insert a new worksheet. And using Control-V is in Victor, to paste. And you'll see it brings that information right over for us on a new worksheet. I'm going to return back to my source data, which was base data. I'm going to press my escape key to get out of copy mode. And now I want to return back to my original data set. I want to clear all of my filters. In clearing your filters, we can actually do this 2 ways. One, we can go to invoice date, click on the filter, and then we can tell it clear. So invoice date no longer filtered. Now, instead of having to go to make and tell it clear and go over to sales price and tell it to clear, what I want to do is I want to bring everything back all at once. And doing that, I'm going to click on my data tab. Working on my data tab on my ribbon, Working within my sort and filter group, there's an icon for clear. Clicking on clear, it resets my data. So it brings back all of my information. Since I'm no longer working with the filters anymore, I also want to turn off my filter icon on my ribbon working with my data tab, sort and filter, and turning off the filter icon. Using the sort and the filter feature is a nice way of quickly analyzing your data. I hope you find this helpful and thank you for your time.